Hey guys, it's Lucas Kim. I'm basically making a video while I'm driving. Obviously, as you know, there's a lot of feelings going on right now for Blizzard Entertainment, mainly because they just has officially announced that they are not doing any BlizzCon 2024, and I believe that they also are kind of hinting that any cons in the future are indefinitely canceled and so forth after the whole unpopular BlizzCon 2023 and so forth. As you know, BlizzCon was like the biggest video game convention, like particularly for one company itself, and that was all due to the Warcraft, Starcraft, as well as World of Warcraft, and including other games such as Diablo, Heroes of the Storm, and Overwatch. But the real case of the BlizzCon's popularity was really from the Warcraft universe and the Starcraft universe. That was really the case right there. And then just recently, they announced that they are no longer going to have a BlizzCon 2024 because, as you know, they haven't really done so well within the company for ever since the whole sexual harassment allegations and the whole Me Too movement. And Blizzard had to do like a quality control where they had to reform the company and then do whatever they can to fix the issues, but they never really got a chance to fix anything. And way they made games, like the directions that they were going, such as Overwatch 1 going into 2, because they were originally planning to make it into story and hero mode included. That ended up becoming canceled, debunked, and then eventually Jeff Kaplan left the company. Obviously, that destroyed the community and the idea of Overwatch afterwards. Not to mention, Heroes of the Storm got canceled, and they were no longer a thing. And Diablo 3 and 4 becoming a disastrous, game community eventually, because Diablo 4 did an amazing launch, but they couldn't manage to keep the players continue due to the whole lack of quality of life and the lack of enjoyment and the battle pass along with that caused the game community to fall apart right there. So and the StarCraft, obviously, there's nothing really much to talk about StarCraft. I'm a huge StarCraft fan, but the downfall of RTS games eventually led Blizzard Entertainment to lose popularity with the no more StarCraft community. The last time I played StarCraft 2, the player base has completely dropped down by half. Every time I go to the arcade and custom map, there's not a lot of players anymore. They're used ever since just about 2 to 3 years ago, there's were plenty of people still playing StarCraft 2, trust me. And then eventually that just kind of died away. And it's a disappointing moment, because StarCraft was all about RTS, and then the Blizzard Entertainment itself, they built their company and the games through RTS. If you talk about Lost Vikings, that game was not as popular as comparing to Warcraft 1, 2, 3, Frozen Throne, as well as StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2. They the backbone of the backbone of Blizzard Entertainment was about RTS games, and them not putting that, it ended up becoming the biggest disaster and disappointment right there. They don't even want to talk about RTS anymore. They don't even want to plan on making a new RTS games. It's just a whole disaster. And the last year's BlizzCon 2023, I watched it, but it was probably the biggest disappointment that I've ever witnessed. They kind of announced Diablo 4 new expansion with a lack of information and lack of what's going to be for the next path, like next roadmap of like Diablo 4's development. They have none. They have absolutely no plans, and was the biggest disappointment for me. And then, not to mention, World of Warcraft, right there. Like the whole war within, yeah, Chris Messin's back, great. Like, that doesn't really change the fact that how much of a damage this game has become. Like the every expansions that come out has such a stale content, and even for a major patch, there's only like two to three major patches, and that is pretty much it for World of Warcraft. There is no motivation or whatsoever, and I hate to compare this to other MMORPGs such as Final Fantasy 14. At least Final Fantasy 14, there's 5 major patches within the expansion, and then another half of the major patches on the next one, and that really is a big issue. Like when it comes down to the development, like devotions, there's no actual devotion in World of Warcraft, like development team as of right now. And the War Within, I'm afraid that like even no matter how many stories that they're adding in, and no matter how much gear designs and like new NPCs that they put in, it's not enough quality of life. And there's not, a lot of people have asked for like changes within the old map, like the old continents and old cities, like, and that has never happened so far. And that is also the biggest disappointment of World of Warcraft franchise. And to even hear that Season of Discovery, which is like the alternate version of World of Warcraft Vanilla Classic, to increase the favor of quality of life, and also to increase the favor of like enjoying, what the vanilla could happen if we implemented this type of system. Because the popularity is so high, to a point that the SOD community and population are much bigger than the retail itself. And as you know, Wrath of the Lich King Classic has actually dropped down within its population significantly. I know that there are still people who still play Wrath Classic out there, for those who hasn't cleared Ice Crown and Ruby Sanctum, but that doesn't change the fact that like people who cleared are no longer wanting to play anymore, and they end up going to SOD, or they just go like for something else. Some of them went to retail, some of them went to are planning to go back to Cataclysm Classic, but I don't really have any confidence in Cataclysm Classic when it comes down to endgame, unless they change something big for the quality of life, and balancing the classes or whatever they can do to help to rebuild the structures of the community. But all of these, like 2023 Blizzcon, this was their biggest importance of trying to fix their company and trying to let people know that we haven't given up on you. And and not to mention, they canceled the survival MMO that they were planning to work on, and then that I can't really like blame Blizzard Entertainment fully, because that was actually like Microsoft's decision to lay people off as well too. So it goes half right there. I can't like blame Blizzard fully on that part, but regardless, I believe that the survival MMO kind of failed apart because the development, I'm pretty sure the concept and the idea was really good, but the development probably was going nowhere, and they had plenty of time to build up this development, and they just couldn't reach the deadline, I guess, or at least had the funds to do so. So Microsoft probably thought, if this is not gonna work, we're just gonna close this project and go for something else. And I'm pretty sure Microsoft's original objective was to reform the current franchise, IP franchise, and try to make it, like make it not fail and continue its brand without putting on completely pressing the red button and shut it down. But as of right now, the way it's going with the BlizzCon 2020 for closing down, I don't think there's a lot of good future for Blizzard Entertainment, and I'm very disappointed in that. I don't know why this is even a thing, but I can't really completely blame it on Microsoft for destroying this company, because the company was already being destroyed. The company was already destroying itself before Microsoft decided to purchase it. Let's be honest here. They completely destroyed this company by themselves. And Bobby Kotick is definitely one of them, but within their own department, they couldn't work it out to make sure the company is functioning properly. And not to mention the transparency and then the communication in Blizzard Entertainment was so poor. And I'm talking about social media wise, I'm talking about forum, I'm talking about live streaming and the videos. Blizzard really didn't care about their customers. They can say that whatever they wanted. They can say, yes, we did care about them. No, you didn't. And if you did care about the customer service system, then you would not use automated GM system, an automated customer service system to handle all of to handle the program itself, to handle all the the forums and the game itself just for you. They used to be a high quality customer service back then because there were actual live people who actually had a friendly customer service. But now if you go on when you're trying to fix something and you have some kind of concern that you want to talk to, or GM that you want to talk to, nobody actually responds to you. They just let the program, website program, to handle everything about your concerns. And once they receive the ticket and they feel that oh, it's just another ticket, yeah, whatever, pass. Oh, somebody reported, okay, punished. That's it. And something, Final Fantasy 14 GM services, they're actual live people. They respond to you, and not only do they respond to you, they sometimes leave some jokes right there, because something, Yoshi P experienced that before. He has experienced, he played World of Warcraft all the way up to Wrath of the Lich King and so forth, so he knows how that customer service is. So he implemented that same customer service into Final Fantasy 14, which is why the interaction with the customer service has been pretty good. And trust me, Final Fantasy 14 has its own flaws in customer service, but at the same time, when there's actually a GM talking to you, it feels like you're actually talking to somebody who actually cares. There's a difference. And on numerous moments for World of Warcraft, the quality is just being gone, and not to mention the recent the transmog said that you had to purchase for a certain amount of money before the deadline. And what the hell is up with that? Why would you put a transmog within the deadline? The whole the FOMO, if you're missing out, is just too obvious. And they think that just by adding this transmog and then get it before it's hot, before it gets expired, we're never putting back in. What makes you think that I would play your game if you're gonna pull it that way? For example, let's say that I have a real life situation and I'm I can't really go online for those next month or 2 months. Like, how am I gonna supposed to deal with that? If there's a natural disaster, or if there's like I'm in a third world country, and I'm actually doing like on a military service, or whatever I'm doing, I'm hospitalized for about a month or two, then you put this FOMO in. How am I gonna feel the desire of playing that anymore, because I missed out and I really want that in? And every time when I still remember this to a point where I was not able to play World of Warcraft during the time when the movie actually came out, and they had a movie promotion of transmog. So I actually asked if they can bring that back in, and bunch of people kind of backlashed at me and saying, no, it's your fault for not going online. And I explained my real life situation, and and this one particular person was like, boo-hoo, nobody cares, if you don't get it, then you don't get it, just quit the game and cry about it. And I'm like, the community itself is just pretty poor about it, and the reason why the gym mentality like that exists is because Blizzard Entertainment made it that way. They made it the FOMO that way, so that once you miss out, then that is a loss on you. And again, I'm comparing this to Final Fantasy 14, but every year they bring the events back, and then they bring some of the items back, and if you missed out that event, well, we'll put it up on the cash shop, but there's no time limit on it, which is a great thing. You should never put a glamour or glamour/transmog or a certain item as a time period thing. You should never do that. Why? Because that actually brings a bad taste to people wanting to play back again, and they are completely missing out. I can't tell you how Blizzard Entertainment fallout is, because they really don't know what the hell they are doing. They really don't know what the hell they're doing. No matter how you see it, if they don't care about their customers, then this is the result of what happens. And the BlizzCon 2023's fallout isn't because customers don't want to pay for the tickets. It has nothing to do with that. And even when I was watching live, I thought it was the most disorganized BlizzCon I've ever seen within the past many years that they have done so far. And that has to do with no proper question and answer. They choose a 30 minutes of a question and answer, and it was not enough. It's they just choose they feel like answering, and that was just the most biased question and answer panel I've ever seen. And the interview was just awfully bad, and they chose their favorite content creators that will kiss their foot, and then try to play along with them, and then make sure that nobody will ask something negative about it. It was just awfully a shame right there. I have no sympathy for Blizzard Entertainment of them closing this con or anything so forth. If they don't want to fix it, then if they don't want to fix their structures of their company, if they don't want to fix their customer service, then by all means, just end it. I don't care. They really don't know what they're doing. It takes a developer or a director to take courage and sit down and ask their customers, what can I do to make you happy? And there's no director doing that. Not even World of Warcraft, not even Diablo, not even StarCraft, not even Overwatch. They think, because when I make something, I know what they like, and they better like my stuff. Is their decision. And if they don't like it, then I will block them for all I care. And that was a result of many social media accounts within Blizzard Entertainment. And I'm not just talking about one. I'm talking about every single developers and managers in Blizzard Entertainment on social media, such as Twitter, aka X. When somebody criticizes or has a legitimate criticism about the direction of the game or company, and they're in charge of the development and the direction of the company, they end up blocking the individual. There's no humble, there's no modesty, there's no actual repentance of what you did wrong within the company, within the game. And the first thing they do is, I appreciate it if you leave me some comments, but anything rude, I will block you? Really? You do realize that the blocking is just gonna make people hate you even more. And the community is split into two. You have no idea what the community is like. Community is split into two because one side are the biggest Blizzard kissers, and they think that whatever Blizzard does is perfectly okay by me, versus people who said, I used to support you, but you're doing something wrong here and you need to fix it. And then these two communities clash with each other, and then that causes more animosity between it, and it causes more toxicity. But at the end of the day, the people who dislike what Blizzard Entertainment is doing is increasing because they know that Blizzard is not doing well. They're not doing well, and they know it. You know why they know it? Because you spend $60 on a game, and if they just continuously leave a dead content, and then a story that makes no sense, and then a gameplay completely 100% completely changed with 180 degrees, that that originally that functioned perfectly well, all of a sudden you change into this function. Then people are gonna just say, you know what, I don't want to play this game. We never asked for this function. Why'd you do it? That was the same. That was a situation back in starting from Cataclysm, I think, for World of Warcraft. Yeah. So that was the biggest issue at the time, and then all of a sudden, now after Shadowlands, they changed the system again. And I'm gonna say that the Dragonflight, the talent trees, they're not bad. They're not really bad, but at the same time, the damage was already done. The damage was done way too many times. And every time when they make some kind of ideas, they don't really go transparent. No matter how much alpha test or beta test or open public test server, that still doesn't change the fact that people have noticed a few things, that they are making a mistake. And when there's a mistake, they don't try to fix it. They just kind of brush it off, and they just kind of brush it off, and then put a big band-aid on it, and hope that the water leak is not gonna pour out. Oh, there's a little water leak, let's put another band-aid on, and then more band-aid, and more band-aid, and more band-aid, instead of completely trying to fix the wall completely with a cement. They just decide to no, we don't have time to do that. Let's put a band-aid, and then while that's about to leak soon, let's announce something else so that they can't pay attention to something else and forget about what has happened before. And that was a Blizzard Entertainment's strategy of marketing. And we were spoiled by it, and we were, duped by it too. I don't know. Maybe Blizzard Entertainment might fix this after the BlizzCon incident, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't have a lot of faith in this company anymore. If they really want to fix it, then they should stop making conventions or streaming expos like talking about, oh, this art is good, like this fan made an art for us, oh that's very nice, or like, oh, this cosplay is good. Yeah, well, cosplay and arts are good, but at the same time, like, what about the development in the game? Like, why don't you show us like how the system is going to change, not like just PowerPoint slides. Actually have the character like move around and then like show what you're like currently changing, and then show a more roadmap, but not just like roadmap. Oh, this is like, this part is gonna have this part right here and that, and just go with that. No, I don't want that type of roadmap. I want an actual like full concept of that one part of roadmap, and then just another part of roadmap that with a full concept of it. Like, and Blizzard Entertainment really should consider about doing a live stream or like, question and answer like once every month, or once every 2 months, or once every 3 months. For the love of God, they don't do any of that. Like, they wait until whole entire year to like wait it out and maybe hope that like, people might have like be ready to do a new expansion. No, we want to have some kind of update. We want to get some kind of answer, and I don't even care about like the whole community council crap right there. They're not developers. They're not actual community managers who knows the inside out of the Blizzard Entertainment's development direction. They're just fans having a big dick energy brag. It's like, oh, hey, I'm a community council member. Like, no, nobody fucking gives a shit about it. Nobody gives a shit. Like, why would I care about if you're a community council member when you don't know anything about what the direction of the game is? Or if you, like, you're not, if you can't answer, like, the question that the developer can answer for me, then you're not worth the time to talk to me. And when the community council thing actually happened, I like kind of laughed my ass off. I'm not gonna lie, because they're not the actual people who actually, like, will make this game a better place. They're just like a messenger with a broken telephone, and what do you do with the broken telephone? You don't communicate on either side. Like, you can't hear what the other person is saying. You can't say what the other people are. You can't say like anything you want to the other person. So like there's like zero communications, and that's exactly what community council was. To tell you the truth, I honestly don't understand like Blizzard Entertainment. I just feel that like they're like doing whatever they can to go bankrupt, or like try to end their company right there. I'm disappointed about the fact that I spent so much years of like enjoying Warcraft, Starcraft, and Diablo games, and even Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm. I'm disappointed that they're no longer a thing, or at least soon to be no longer a thing. And how developers just like decide to be like, oh well, if they don't care, I don't care. It's that kind of energy attitude right now, and I really do hope that they like look at this video, because most likely is that they're gonna be pretty upset about the fact that I'm like bashing about how they don't care. And you know what, I really don't care if you feel offended by it, Blizzard. And that's just how much I'm tired of you guys. Anyways, thank you for watching, and yeah, that's just my thoughts while I'm driving.